Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on September the 15th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So today we saw the CPI numbers for US, and the numbers actually came in below expected. So inflation wasn't as high, and as a result of that, we saw US dollar drop. The numbers for UK here came in fairly at a decent level. So we saw pound go up as well, but based on the US numbers, we did see US dollar drop, and everything else went up against the US dollar. But then things reversed because of a couple of different things here going on in the market. One, September is a rough month for stocks anyway, for the stock market. So we did see stock market dropping. Part of it was concerns about the economic recovery due to the COVID, the new Delta variant. And then we also are seeing Democrats passing the budget here, $3.5 trillion package. Part of the budget is actually they're planning on raising taxes on the businesses from 21% to 26%. So that tax increase is actually a bad thing for the stock market. And of course, businesses don't like that. And as a result of that, we are seeing that drop in the stock market, which when stock market drops, the US dollar tends to go up. So that's why we have seen US dollar strengthen as a result of that. So that's why we'll take a look at the charts in a bit. And hence we saw that back and forth move. So coming up on Wednesday here, we do have inflation numbers from UK. They are expected to go up. If the numbers come in higher than expected, that would be positive for the for the British pound, because then Bank of England will be forced into raising rates. So we'll keep an eye on that. If the numbers come in below expectations, like we saw for US dollar today, in that case, we're likely to see pound drop. And also coming up on Wednesday here, we have, again, inflation numbers here for Canada as well. Same thing applies. If the number come in above expectations, then we are looking for that interest rate hike from Bank of Canada, and we're likely to see Canadian dollar go up as a result, or vice versa. We also have Empire State Manufacturing Index numbers. So if these, and industrial production, capacity utilization numbers, so if these numbers come in below expectations, that is not a good thing for the economy. And we could see a negative impact on the US dollar. So we'll keep an eye on that. But the another thing that we may see with the current state of things, with the interest rate, not the interest rate, sorry, with the tax hike that may be coming up, it's not finalized yet. If these numbers drop and there are concerns about tax hike and there's concerns about economic recovery, then we may see the stock market drop further, which we are overdue for a correction. We haven't had a correction in a long time. So we may see a further drop in the stock market, which may push the US dollar up. So we'll just have to be careful with these. We also have GDP numbers for the quarter from New Zealand, and positive GDP is a good thing. But if it drops below what's expected here, we are likely to see a drop in New Zealand dollar because of the concern would be the lockdown because of the Delta variant, and concerns around the recovery coming out of the COVID situation. So again, we'll have to keep an eye on this. Employment numbers here, we're expecting employment numbers to drop now, as well as the unemployment numbers to go up. So if it's worse than this, that will be negative for Australian dollar. All right, so let's take a look at our charts now. All right, euro dollar. So with the euro dollar, we saw price went up all the way as we had expected. Didn't quite make it, was a couple pips shy here, but then it dropped. And the drop was because of the concerns around tax hike and stock market dropping. So in this case, bias is bearish. We have a nice bearish pin bar here. So I'm looking for price to drop back into the support level here. So right now price is going sideways here. Over the last few days, it's just chopped back and forth within this range between 1.1850 and 1.1770. So now I'm looking for a move towards the support level 1.1770, and depending on what the market sentiment is tomorrow, we may see a further drop here, and should it go through, then next target here would be 1.1725, so bearish bias here for euro dollar. Pound dollar, same scenario here. Price did go up. We had a bullish pin bar yesterday. Price went up all the way, it went even higher than our target and went all the way into the next level of support resistance level. However, price did come back and dropped for the reasons that we just talked about. So at this point, we have a big bearish pin bar here. Now, do expect a bit of a pullback, but we have data coming up for pound, which could make a difference. However, for this one here, bias is bearish. That's quite a drop. Pound has also been trading in a bit of a range. And this is what, so we have a rejection from top of the range. So now we are looking for a move towards the bottom of the range here. So in this case, the larger, the target here is 1.3725, but it may face some problems along the way. So the first target here is 1.3770, second target 1.3725, so bearish bias for pound dollar as well. Aussie dollar, this as well went through the support here. It's finally out of this range it's been trading in. Bias is bearish here. We have a nice solid close. And in this case, the next target is 0.7280. And then below that, we are looking at 0.7225. So bearish bias here for Aussie dollar as well. So in this case, the type of move I would expect would be a bit of a pullback and then a drop here. And targets 0.7280, 0.7225. New Zealand dollar, this as well, we saw that move up as expected, but again, price couldn't go through the resistance here and we have a drop. So this one is still trading in a range. We do have a nice bearish candle close, but then we have support right here. This is the support where price had struggled previously. So in this case, bearish bias with caution, though, we need to see a drop through the support and then a continuation move here. So bearish bias, again, with caution. The first target here is 0.7075, which is the support, and then 0.7030. So bearish bias. However, just be careful that things can turn around here because this is our range. So it could just continue being sideways here. Dollar CAD is the next target here. So bias here is bullish. However, the problem is price is into resistance here, and this is where it has struggled. So now we are still in the range, but bullish bias here. If it goes through, then next target is 1.2770. We do need to be careful here because it can go back into the range. So bullish bias with caution, though. Next target is 1.2760. Our commodities here, silver bounced off of the support level, and now we do have some bullishness in here, but we have to wait for it to go through the resistance here. Next target is 24.30, so neutral to bullish bias here for silver. Gold looking quite strong here. Bullish bias, again, it is into resistance. So do keep that in mind. Next target here, though, is 1820. So bullish bias for gold as well. Oil is looking neutral. It did move up, but it got stuck right into the previous support resistance here. So now we have a neutral candle close. So neutral candles can be precursor to reversals. So watch out for that. I'm looking for a retest of the high of today. And if it holds below, then we are likely to see a drop. If it goes through this, then next target would be 71.75. For now, bias is neutral, and we will have to see if it can go through the 71 level or not. If not, we're looking for a reversal. Copper, we were looking for a drop and we got that. So now still looking for a continuation here. In this case, the targets, the first target is 4.21, and then second target is 4.16. So bearish bias for copper. Bitcoin here looking strong right now, however, still trading in a range, and at this point struggling with the resistance. So I would say neutral to bullish bias, but if it fails to get through 47, we are back into the range once again. If it goes through the resistance, then we have this big move that can get, the candle can get filled. This is an inefficient move, so this one could get filled. For now, though, it is still neutral here. S&P 500, S&P 500 did what we were looking for here. Price went to retest the high and then dropped. Now, bias is bearish. However, it's right into the support, so watch out. But bearish bias here. And in terms of our targets, next target is 44.20 level, and then 43.75. So bearish bias for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, Nasdaq did drop, but it hasn't gone through the support just yet. So we need to see it break through the support for it to continue lower. Next target is 15,230. And then should it continue, we're looking at 15,000. So bias is bearish with caution though, because it may not go through the support. It hasn't closed below it. So we have to be cautious here. And then Dow Jones here, this one is looking bearish. As we can see, price held below the previous support resistance level. We do have a nice bearish candle close. However, last time we had a bearish candle close, it did bounce up. So we have to see a drop through this support. It's a strong support. The prices, as we can see, it has reacted at this level previously. So we need to wait for a break and then a pullback, and then we're looking for a drop. And then there's lots of room to the downside. So bearish bias here in terms of our targets. First target we are looking at is 34,250. And then below that, we're looking at 34,120. So bearish bias for Dow Jones. DAX here, DAX also holding below the previous support resistance level. And now we have a bearish candle close. So we had a drop, a pullback, and now looking for that continuation move to the downside. The target here. So the first target is 15,600 and then 15,450. So bearish bias for DAX as well. FTSE, same scenario here as DAX. We saw price break through the support and then pull back. Now we're looking for a continuation. So in this case, the target is 69.85. So bearish bias for FTSE as well. Nikkei finally dropping here from, it did try to go through, failed, and now we have a drop. So looking for a move to the downside here. And in terms of our target, so bearish bias, first of all. In terms of our targets here, 30,000 is the first target, and then second target will be 29,830. So bearish bias here for Nikkei. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow with the daily market analysis. Bye for now.